fucking Twitter is a fuck button in my car. Welcome to the Mouthpiece, episode 26, year one. Today, we're going to talk about my Florida trip, as well as we're going to be taking your phone calls, as well as our pick of the week, which never wins. Coming up next on the Mouthpiece. Yo, welcome. Episode 26 of the Mouthpiece. We're back in town in Vegas. What a week. That's all I got to say. We flew out on Thursday of last week, and we landed. So by the time I got to the hotel, checked in, got my scooted around a little bit. We went to this bar. I think it was called B-U-S-E, but I might be wrong. Busey. Anyway. And all of us, we had a choice of inside or outside. For some reason, everybody decided to say outside. And on Thursday, it was like 83 with like 90% humidity. And I literally felt like death for like 2.5 hours. But some of the guys bet on Oakland, and they won, so everybody was happy. We kind of all squeezed 8 of us into this vehicle to get there. But the funny part is, if you haven't seen the video yet, we had 11 of us in there on the way back. Now, I have actual video footage of this. I took a lot of a video that'll be up on the YouTube channel. Probably next week we'll definitely start putting out different days. I was there left Wednesday morning, so we're going to go, I was there 5 days. So we got 5 days worth of amazing YouTube videos from Florida. And so I videoed pretty much everything we did with the guys. It was kind of a guys trip. So we did that. We had some fun. Went back to the hotel. Then we were pretty much wagering on everything. It kind of felt like old times, and I was telling Phil, I'm like, Phil, you're getting me back in degen mode a little bit here. I got to control myself. So I forgot what it's like to be in degen mode. So it was kind of fun, and we were all. So one of the wagers happens at about once we get back from the bar. I had to drive my scooter to this lady that was cleaning a chandelier in the hallway of the Waldorf Astoria Beach Club, and turn around and drive back. And everybody had to put up money, what they thought the time would be, and what the over-under would be. Now, me being a scooter driver now for about 3.5 years, I looked at the distance and back, and I said 38 or 39 seconds. Who's closer to that? And guy who was with us, John Green, said, I've got 38 seconds. And somebody said 20, and I said, I think you're going to win. Like other people had 26, 29. Anyways, we did this little race. I got back, and it ended up being 37.2. So he was the closest. He ended up winning all the money, like $600. So then Morgan Machete, who was with us, he wanted to do it, and he says, okay, I'll bet I could beat that time or whatever, and everybody bets him, and he loses by like two tenths of a second. And so and Morgan was like, oh, give me another chance, I want to do it again. And we let him he whined like a bitch, so we let him give a chance to get his money back, and he won and got his money back. I don't want to tell you all too much in detail of what we did. Because I want you guys to watch all the video, because the video is kind of priceless for the whole 5 days. So Friday was the $50K buy-in for charity. It cost $5,000 for charity to lock up a seat. Me and Phil went halves. I was up 17,200 about 5 minutes into the game, where a guy misclicked when I had re-raised the guy with 2 kings. He went to call and he put in 5,000, and there was like 4 folds, so he couldn't do anything. So I was trying to be nice, and I made it 15,000 and told him, I'll show you my hand. I'm not taking a shot at you. But he called the 15,000 anyways. And then I was being ethical. Normally I would bet maybe 10,000 out of deuce, 5 flop. But I just moved all in. And he folded. I showed him 2 kings, so I wasn't trying to take a shot at him. And I threw him back $1,000. If I would have known that he's how wealthy he was, I probably wouldn't have thrown him back $1,000. But good things go to good people, because afterwards he did a good deed for me, and he was very, very appreciative of me. It ends up he's one of the guys that runs the casino, and he was a big time guy there, and he was very appreciative of all the charity work I did down there this weekend. So I ended up, after he lost his first 50 in 30 minutes, he actually was going to rebuy, because he had sent the person who organized the game 100. But he wanted to play with Hellmuth, and dumbass Hellmuth didn't want to play, but they start the 5-10-10 game next to us, and he wanted to play with Phil, so he goes and sits next to Phil instead of in our game where he would have dusted another 50 ball. But Phil, so the person who organized our game, which it was, I don't want to tell you, I don't want to name any names just in case that person doesn't want me to know, but she was kind of upset because Phil's starting the game next to us, and everybody was pissed at Phil for that day because this guy was going to blow another 50 and whatever. So then I misplayed a hand, which cost me an extra 5,000. I ended up winning $5,085 in the game, but we had to pay $5,000 in charity, so I won $85 in the game. That's $40 each for me and Phil. Then came Saturday. That was the nightmare day for me. Usually when I fly in, I'm in pain the day after I fly in, but maybe I thought it was the humidity from the night before, but I don't know. I could not get out of bed Saturday. I was in the most awful pain imaginable. There was the Beat the Brat poker tournament for $2,200 buy-in, and then there was Mike Sexton on the Beach tournament, where a winner got a $15,000 package to the Party Poker Million main event. I had to miss both of those. I was just bedridden in awful pain. I ended up sleeping all night to about all day till like 1 a.m. So now I'm up at like 1 a.m, which is 10 o'clock West Coast time, and I had to be up Sunday morning. We were doing for Scott Frank's father for charity tournament for his father, in memory of his father, and I did the first one they had back. I think it was 2010 or 11. I forgot. No, it's 2010. So it was the first time I'd been back there because of because of my injury and stuff. This is actually only the second time I've flown across country. Last time I did, I was in awful pain. This time, the pain only lasted 1 day, which was good, and I think that had a lot to do with the spinal cord stimulator I had put in. So I went to, we had to be leaving the hotel at 10:30. We got there at 11 we did autographs and pics for like an hour. And it really made me appreciate like what I've been telling everybody for the longest time is what poker's all about. I mean, we put so much smiles on these people's faces that traveled all around, from all over the world, all over the country, from Canada, from everywhere for this charity poker tournament. And I forgot really what it's like to watch the smiles and happiness on these people's faces just taking pics with us and autographs. And, you know, it's really what the younger generation just don't get. They just don't get it. And one day they will. That poker is a fun game. It's about having fun. Yes, we want to make money, but it's not about being a wizard and just not talking to anybody. And it's just poker's meant to be fun. And like I've been saying for the last couple of years, make poker fun again. Try your hardest. And so once the tournament started, you know, we had a lot of side action with all the guys, last longer bets and stuff. Of course, I lost 300 to Phil, but I outlasted him. But he won the first bullet last longer bet, and then he wouldn't do another one because that's what Phil does. He locks up his wins. And then I ended up outlasting him, but we both didn't cash. But I made so many people happy, and Phil made so many people happy, and all the guys made everybody happy, and it was just priceless. I don't even know where to start. It was to just make everybody at the table so happy. Everybody, I never felt prouder to be a poker player than I was on this Sunday. It just was great. So I really enjoyed that a lot. So then, let's see, we come up on Monday, and Monday we kind of slept in, and we went for an amazing dinner in which Phil lost the credit card roulette and had to pay $2,000 for the dinner, which was beautiful. I told everybody I had a premonition Phil was going to lose. I said, let's bet on it. And Phil's like, oh, I never lose these things. And, of course, you know, the old Mike would have been 100% convinced he was going to lose. But Positivity Mike, I knew I wasn't going to lose. I even texted my girl, should we get in this credit card roulette? I go, I really can't afford like $2,000 or $3,000 for a dinner. I said, but I don't think we can lose. She's like, oh, you know how bad you run, Mike. I'm like, no, we're not going to lose. And then the first one out was picked out of the hat was mine, so I was safe right away. And then watching everybody squim and squirmish at the end was great, especially when it got down to the last two between Phil and I think it was John Green. I don't know who the other guy was down between, but I got this all on tape again. Everything I did, I'm talking to you guys about, I got on video, which will all be up on my YouTube channel next week. Most of it, probably maybe all of it, who knows. That's youtube.com/MikeTheMouth. youtube.com/MikeTheMouth. You'll be able to see a lot of our videos. I also, that's what we did on Monday. See, I'm so bad. Monday was the Phil Hellmuth tennis bet, in which Phil lost, but we went live on the YouTube channel. So if you haven't seen the live broadcast of it, you can check it out on the YouTube channel. And then we also had my scooter with the 360 cam at the tennis court, which we will be splicing this week to really get an in-depth look of the tennis ball coming right at Phil's face at 127 miles an hour. And then we did some other bets, which I really don't want to talk about because you need to watch them. Let's just say we did a lot of funny bets. If you haven't seen the bet of if I can avoid the pro hitting me with a tennis ball while I'm on the scooter and driving, I taunt the tennis pro, and right after I taunt him, he beans me right in the leg, which is still swollen up. But it was really funny. But you'll have to check this all out on the videos. So that's what we did on Monday. Supposed to fly home Tuesday. Or not Tuesday. I was supposed to fly with Phil Tuesday night to Chicago, but I had to make a choice. Chicago, 11 degrees and snowing, or go out on the boat that everybody went out on Friday and Sunday and I wasn't able to go on. I decided to go for going out on the yacht. It was so much fun on Tuesday. And there's so much video on the YouTube channel where I went live and I took a bunch of live shots from the yacht. And then I have so much more video that'll be on our little boat trip for Tuesday. It was a lot of fun. And then Wednesday, I flew home, and that was pretty much the trip. It was a great 5 days. Had a lot of fun. Didn't play as much poker as I wanted to, but that's okay. It's, I did what I needed to do for the charity, and that was the most important part. And, that's really about it. So, with that in mind, it's time for our phone call segments. Coming up here on the Mouthpiece. We'll be right back.
The Mouthpiece.
If you'd like to take part in our phone call segment, you can give us a call at 702-329-0480. And if you're a snowflake or a pussy and you don't want to talk to me, you can email me at mouthpiecepodcast@gmail.com. Also, follow me at the Mouth Matusow on Twitter for times that our call-in segment will be live.
Okay, it's time for our favorite time of the show, our phone call segments. Let's see what our fans have to say this week. So let's light up the lines. Welcome to the Mouthpiece. It's Mike.
Hey, Mike. How's it going?
It's a girl. Who's this?
My name's Danielle.
Okay,
yeah.
Danielle.
Hi.
Hi, what's going on?
I just saw on Twitter that you had people calling in for your show.
Yeah. This is the Moon Girl. I know it is. I know your voice. I spent the whole week with you. I know this is you.
With me? I don't think so.
Maybe I'm wrong. Okay, I apologize. If I'm wrong, I apologize.
I don't think that you spent the week with me.
I spent the week with somebody named Danielle. Not intimately. Not intimately. Just she was with all the guys this week.
No. Oh, wow.
But you guys do. We were all just hanging out. It was funny. Maybe it's a different one. That's cool. So, where are you from?
I'm from New York City.
Oh, that's a good place to be. So, what are you doing this evening besides calling me?
I'm here with my husband, Tyler.
Okay.
Who is a big fan of yours.
Okay.
He is a big poker fan, and he saw that you called him on Twitter, and he seemed a little nervous about calling in, and I thought that I would call in.
Well, there you go. That's what women are for.
And see what's going on.
Good job.
You're the man. You're the man, Mike.
All right.
You know that.
No.
I want to tell you, I've been watching you for years and years of my life.
Cool.
I'm a big fan of yours. I think that time that Sean Deeb slow rolled you was fucking bullshit.
Yeah,
I want you to know that.
It is.
He's a fuck. Man.
He's a fuck.
I totally agree. And I think you're the man. I just wanted you to know.
I appreciate it so much. And I apologize for saying that your wife spent the week with me.
He didn't hear that part. He didn't actually hear that.
But I did. No, it's so funny that I did.
That's okay, man.
There was,
okay.
We had like 7 guys and 1 girl that we all kind of like partied in Florida with. And
doesn't that happen to everybody?
And her name was Danielle, and she sounded like her when she called, so I thought she was kind of pranking me a little bit, but it wasn't.
Got it.
So I wanted to get that. But let me tell you something. No problem, man. Let me tell you something. The Danielle we spent the week with was one cool ass chick, so we had fun.
She'd probably have to be. With like her and 12 dudes, she'd probably have to be pretty cool.
She literally outdrank everybody.
23 dudes.
She outdrank everyone. Her name's Danielle Anderson. She's actually a well-known poker player. But she, like for every time somebody did a, what are those things called? Hot rocks or something? Shots? What are they called? I don't know. I don't drink. She would drink like hot shots. I don't know. She drank 2 for every shot that the guys were drinking. And she's like, I'll drink every one of you motherfuckers under the table. So she did.
That does sound like my wife. It might have been
that. Actually, yeah. That.
Do you think she snuck out on you? Was she there with you all for like 5 days? I mean. Maybe she snuck out on you. It's possible,
Yeah, I had a business trip this week.
Oh, yeah, she did tell me she told her husband she was going on a business trip.
That's
Interesting.
Maybe
Maybe we caught her by accident. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
But God bless, Mike, man. Keep it real.
I appreciate you guys calling in, man. I do try and keep it real. I tell it like it is. If you don't fucking like it, fucking fuck off. If you like it, come listen to the show, and tell all your friends listen to the show. I appreciate you calling.
Hell yeah, man. I absolutely will.
All right, man. Have a great night. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. What's up?
What's going on, Mike? How you doing, brother?
Who's this?
My name's Cody, man. I'm calling in out of Michigan, bro. I just
cool.
got a question, man. What's the big stick up Doug Polk's ass, bro?
That's a fucking great question.
Bro, the guy thinks he's God, bro.
He's a 2-bit poker player. That's my opinion.
Right.
Everything he does is math-based. All his I used to really like him and his analysis offhand, and then I started realizing that the way he analyzes hands is based all on math, not on any feel whatsoever. And then he goes out and attacks people that are more famous than him, all for clicks for clickbaits and his brand.
The clickbait poker king.
Yeah, and I've completely lost respect for him, and I really used to like him. So
I just think he's very condescending.
Yeah, he is.
And for somebody who doesn't even play the game anymore, to just have such a strong opinion on things that should be irrelevant to him because he doesn't play anymore.
Exactly.
It just blows my mind.
Yeah, and me and Daniel used to be best friends. We put things under the rug, and we're not. We're acquaintances, and we're friendly now, and we're not enemies anymore. But when you go out, you cannot go out and accuse somebody who, basically, if it wasn't for someone like him or Hellmuth or me or a lot of people, you never would have made shit in poker. And it really bothers me. Poker's the only sport game where people want to degrade people who came before them because of the jealousy that they have. Because why else would you make up the shit about... There's no way that Daniel had any inclination about a missed point that happened in Event 68 when Daniel wasn't even involved with Player of the Year till where he had a chance till Event 89. So how in the fuck is he going to know? And it's just... and by the way, I didn't want to go publicly with Sean D because me and Sean are pretty friendly. And so I texted him and said the exact same thing, and he didn't respond to me in a text because it's all bullshit. Sean's pissed because he grenaded the tournament and he had Player of the Year locked
Right, he bubbled.
But he would have got fifth if he just grenaded. He played a hand so badly. But, he could say, well, if I knew it was ninth, I just would have folded. Well, you still got to play your best. Don't call Daniel a cheater. I mean, that's the thing. It's the same thing that happened with Ivy, okay? You can't, what Ivy with the whole thing with the Baccarat. I don't think Ivy did anything wrong, but also... you're trying to go up against very powerful people. You're never going to win against powerful people, and you can't have a cheater name associated as a poker player. And if you start throwing out cheater, and Doug's got a lot of followers, and I know, and that's just wrong. I mean, Daniel, you could call him self-centered. You could call him you hate that he always thinks he's right. I mean, there's a lot of things about Daniel. You cannot lie.
If I had as many wins as that guy did, I would do the same exact thing. I would probably be a way bigger douchebag than he is. I think he's very. Listen, he's got the cleanest record in poker.
Right.
He doesn't owe anybody a goddamn thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The guy has literally done nothing but help the game. Right?
And how much money has Daniel raised for charity? What has Doug Polk ever raised for charity? Hey, I got to go. I got another call, man. I appreciate it.
Brother. Thank you so much.
Take care. You got it. Later.
Holler.
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. It's Mike. What's up?
Mike, how you doing? I'm a big fan.
Who's this?
This is Billy from Boston.
All right. Billy from Boston. BB. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Just with a few of my buddies, pregame in the night.
Yeah, sounds good. And
How are you?
Just sitting in the office, talking to my fans, chilling, talking about my fun weekend I had last weekend, and whatever, all the good shit. What are you up to, man?
It's awesome.
Hanging out, doing the same?
I'm a college student at Merrimack. I'm a senior. Me and my buddies play poker all the time, just hanging out, having fun.
Cool, man. Cool. Any questions for me?
I have 2 questions for you.
You got it.
So the first one is a little advice question.
Sure.
It is I consider myself like a tight player when I play with my friends, and I kind of want to start going to casinos and playing.
Tight is always right. So go ahead.
Yep. But I want to know like how I can kind of change my strategy, like maybe raise smaller hands.
I like
what
it.
hands are good to go.
I like
if you know
it.
what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a good question. I am. I used to be the most aggressive player in poker up until 2006, and then once they kind of taught people how to play, I had to change my game, and I had become really nitty. I then became like the tightest player in poker. But what you need to do is use your image, okay? Because if everybody thinks you're tight, it's going to allow you to open up your range a lot more. You'll be up, you could 3-bet a lot more. You can open the 6-7 suiteds. People are going to respect you a lot more. So my advice to you is to use your tight image to attack in certain spots, especially against people who you know will fold. They're like, you got such a tight image, they'll be like, oh, he's got such a tight image, he's got to have it, and they'll be making big folds to you,
right.
And you'll be able to pick up a lot of money just doing that. Now, don't get too fast. You got to balance yourself, but use your image to attack certain players that you know will fold. And I do that to perfection. They all still think I'm tight, and I'm going to let them keep thinking that way because I'll just keep robbing them as much as they think I'm tight. So you got to use your image well, open up, and just you know the people who know you're tight. So just start attacking them. That's all. That's the best advice to you. What's your other question?
My other question is, who is the toughest opponent you've ever faced? Maybe in heads up or just like any type of poker.
That's a easiest answer for me. It's not even close. Scott Seaver.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Well, I played him in the semis of the NBC Head Up in 2013. He was the toughest Head Up match I ever played with. Even in cash games when he's not tilted and he's on, he just plays everything great. He's an amazing poker player. And, he's definitely the toughest all-around player I've ever played against. So,
Mike, can I ask one more question?
For you, absolutely.
All right. I'm actually with one of my buddies who loves poker as well, and he has a question for you.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead.
How you doing, Mike? This
What's
is
up?
Kurt, also a huge fan.
Thanks,
I've been
Kurt.
watching your videos for years now.
Cool.
But one question is, I run small stakes at casinos all the time, probably like 1, 2, 2, 5.
Okay.
I've been doing that for a couple of years, but what do you think the best strategy to build up your stack early on in a cash game?
In
Not
cash
in tournament
games?
strategy, but mostly cash game.
It's really weird. So I played some 5-5. We did a meetup game, me and Hellmuth, over at the bike about 2 months ago. Yep. And, everybody's going to – it's kind of different. They kind of want to beat like people like us. So I just played really, really tight. Now – Phil has a dip. We talked about this, I think, on last week's episode of the Mouthpiece, where I played real tighter in the 1-3-5-5 games. Phil likes to play a lot looser because he feels like he can run them over a little bit more. But I found it when I play them, they never fold. So I play even. He plays tighter in the bigger games, looser in the smaller games. I play actually tighter in the smaller games and then use my image like I just told your buddy in the bigger games. So we are a little bit opposite, but that's but that's nothing wrong with that. So, you got to just take what you decide. If you feel the game's playing really loose, I play tight. Here's what the bottom line. If everybody's playing tight, play looser. If everybody's playing loose, play tighter. That's the best way to explain it. There you go.
Okay.
So,
awesome.
All right, you guys have a great night. Have a couple drinks and keep listening to the Mouthpiece. Take care, you guys. I appreciate the call.
All right, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
You got it, buddy. Take care. Bye.
You.
Yo, welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike. What's up?
Hey, not too much.
Who's
An honor
this?
to talk to you.
Yeah.
My name's Chris.
Hey, Chris, where are you from?
I'm from Kansas.
Good place to be, man. Good place to be, man. What's going on a Friday night?
Well, right now I'm just chilling, watching a little Live at the Bike on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Friday nights Live at the Bike are fun. That's the big game.
Yeah.
Any fish in the game tonight? I haven't watched
It's a good game tonight. I don't really know. I haven't been paying too close attention, but looks like Garrett's running strong again.
Well, he's the
hey,
best
when
player.
are you going to be on there next?
Well, whenever they invite me, I told them, I said, whenever you get a couple fish cakes in the game, call me. I'm not flying down to play with Garrett and Andy and all the pros. I just there's one thing I learned about poker. It took me a lot of years to figure out is and that's why I'll never understand when people even attack Phil for he doesn't play deep because he's afraid. No, he plays in games where he doesn't have to sweat and have to concentrate as much, so he wins. I don't want to have to play against pros where you can't talk or do anything because you have to focus really hard. I always want to play with people who give their money away. So
that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Plus, you live in Vegas and you don't live in LA. So.
Yeah, and people don't poker's about playing with people who play worse than you, not people who play just as good or as you or better than I don't think many play better, but just as good as you is even if they are better or you are better, it take 10 years to show a difference. I like playing with people that stack off 30,000 with one pair, shit like that. So.
I got you. Hey, my main question is about poker cards and brands of cards. Am I allowed to say brands?
Sure, absolutely.
The WPT and Live at the Bike both use Faded Spade. Mm-hmm. What do you think of those cards? I have them. I can't decide if I like them or not.
So many different brands, and honestly speaking, I just think people don't want to pay it, but Chem Cards are just... I've never seen anything that are better than Chem Cards, but people don't want to pay the money for them. So there's so many new brands of cards out, and I did play with a deck at Live at the Bike after the stream was over. I'm not sure what they were, but they were really good. I didn't ask. I know they weren't Chem Cards, but they were new and they were good. And now on the stream of the RFIDs, I don't know exactly what they use, but I know they're not.
Well, I'm told they use the Faded Spade. They're a lot thicker, and I think they're wider.
They
than
are,
cards.
and I'm going to tell you, I know this: when you play on a stream with the RFID in it, the cards are they're I mean, when you first play on them, it's good they hand you those decks so you don't really realize it. And then when the stream ends and you go back to regular cards, you're like, oh, my God, I hated those cards we were playing with. In other words, you don't really notice how bad they are to play with until you get a regular deck of cards. Yeah. So I really wouldn't know, really, because I'm like old school type of Chem Card type of guy, and I just probably don't play enough to know the difference in the brands. I just know when the deck sucks, I'll just complain about who are these fucking people. This deck sucks. I'll complain a little bit. So I don't know.
But speaking of old school, my last thing, how sad is it? And how much does it suck that Binion's in Las Vegas has one fucking poker room in it, or one fucking poker table?
That's all they have is one poker table now?
I swear to God, yeah, I was there. Unless it's changed in the last 4 months.
Wow. Well, I mean, you would think they'd have at least 4 or 5 table room. That is sad. Yeah, that's pretty sad, but it is what it is, Even, hey, I grew up like when the Mirage opened and I was playing the Mirage till Bellagio opened. And they used to have like 25 tables and now they've got a 5-table room. So, it's
really.
It's really the poker. I shouldn't say the poker economy is not that good right now. It's really good in the tournaments because really a lot of people don't have money to play cash. Because let's be honest, like in the cash games, the best players win all the time. And you're just going to bust everyone. And back in the day, and this is what they went away from, and I think it's hurt a lot of card rooms, is like in a no-limit hold'em. Even back online, like if it's a 50, 100 no limit, most you could buy in was 10,000. Quarter 50, the most you could buy in was 5,000. 10, 20, most you could buy in was 2,000. And by doing that, it kept people from going broke, like when they'd buy in deep, get stacked on a hand. And there's a reason why card rooms used to do it. And they went away from it, and I still believe to this day for the best for the poker economy, there shouldn't, unless they're private games, people should not be buying in deep. It not only does it hurt the poker economy, but it hurts the room because one person gets all the money and then there's no games. So it's something that I think they need to get back to.
I'm a believer in buying into the minute.
Yeah, but the thing is the most you could ever buy in was
I look forward to your new book, and I got to go.
Yeah, you got it, buddy. Take care, man.
I look forward to your new book.
It's coming out soon, first of the year. But later, bye.
All right on.
Yo, welcome to the Mouthpiece. What's going on? It's Mike.
How's it going?
It's going good. I heard you're playing a fucking tournament at the Venetian.
Yes, I'm playing that $300 PL08, and in level 2 I made nut and got a double knockout, so I have a pretty big stack right now.
Sweet.
I'm just wondering what your advice is, what pitfalls to avoid with the big stack.
Oh, I'm a PL08. It's only my best game.
I was going to say, I think you know that game pretty well,
Let's see. So what are the blinds? Let me give you a little good video.
Right now they're at 200, 400, and I've got about 60K.
Oh, that's beautiful. I would say
we started with 15K. So.
With a stack like that, you could play big hands. When you have if your stack was like 25,000, I would tell you never play big hands. Biggest mistake people make is they say, "Oh, well, I could win a big pot with big cards," but just always remember 66% of the deck is 8 or less. So 2/3 of the time there's going to be 3 cards that have 8 or less on it, which means you're always going to be splitting. So I always say play big hands when you got chips, and you can min raise a lot of big hands, and you can min raise a lot of small hands. Just don't play anything in between, and don't be calling raises with the ace 4 5s or the ace 3 6s. You want to be raising those hands, not calling raises with those hands. And if you do that, you'll never be in trouble. And the key to PL08 is always having control of the hand, but never get yourself trapped. What everybody does the worst is they get themselves trapped. So that's my advice to you. With your stack, I would open a lot of high hands and marginal hands, but if you get re-raised, get away from them. That's all. And don't play the trap hands. That's all.
I was going to add in a couple more marginal two-way hands as long as I'm opening and being aggressive.
Yeah, like if you have 3-4 king queen doubles suited in the hijack or cutoff, first one in, you could raise that. Most people won't. I do, because I know the aces are live. If somebody calls, it comes like an ace deuce or even like an ace king. There's ace king and a baby. You could rep a lot of hands. Just remember, people don't want to be calling out of position, drawing at a dry low. You understand what I'm saying? So it's really important to have some kind of two-way hand in position where you can put pressure on people. That's what I do. Good luck to you, man. Win the motherfucker. Leave me a message and tell me you won.
Thank you. I'll call you back once I do.
You got it. Take care, man. Peace.
Have a good one. Thank you.
Welcome to the Mouthpiece. This is Mike.
Hey, Mike.
What's going on, man?
How's it going?
Good. Who's this?
This is Sarv from Boston.
Oh, what's going on, man?
Hey, not too much.
You're second Boston caller I've had tonight. That's awesome, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. I just wanted to get I'm sure you've probably spoken about this before, but your take on the whole Daniel Negreanu situation.
I mean, if you really have to ask that, then you should know better. Okay, why don't you just say it like this, like the last caller that called me. Doug Polk's a piece of shit, and so is Sean Deeb, and fucking Sean Deeb's upset because he grenaded the fucking last event, so he wants to call Daniel out because he hates his guts, and Doug Polk is putting it out like he always does for clicks, and he hates Daniel's guts too. Daniel would never cheat anything. And me and Daniel, we're not best friends like we used to be or anything, but I mean, Daniel's done so much. Daniel would never, you could say anything you want about Daniel and there could be an argument one way or the other, but cheating is not in his vocabulary. That's all. I don't need to go any further.
And you guys go back quite some ways, right?
22 years, yeah. And we had the worst of falling outs for 3 years where nobody hated each other worse than me and him did. So... But even as much as we agree to disagree on things, and listen, Daniel could be very opinionated, and when he has a strong opinion, it's his way or the highway. But that is for another debate. I mean, Daniel would never cheat anybody, and everything he's done for poker is in a positive light. And for people to say, all you have to do, how's Daniel going to know how many points he got in event number 68 when he's playing 5 tournaments a day? Think about that. You know, I don't know how many points I got. I still don't.
Right.
You know.
Well, what would you say are Daniel's best and worst qualities on all these years that you've known him?
His best qualities is the fact that he's a lot like me when it comes to fans. He's never said no to any autograph or pick, and he always has fun at the table, and he's always nice to his fans. And his worst qualities are probably going to be that even though he's right probably 80 to 90% of the time, it's kind of like my girlfriend when he's wrong. It's like you're never gonna. It's like a fiery debate, and he very seldom would like to admit when he's wrong. But that's okay. There's people like that. But I'm kind of like I'm a lot the same way. I'm learning as I grow older to try and listen a little bit more and try and listen to other people's side of a debate or an opinion, and that's made me a better person. But as far as cheating goes, it's just. It's like Robert Mizrachi said, and I was texting with Dan the other day. If fucking Doug Polk wants to put up 500,000, and we could run 10 lie detector tests, and we'll see if Daniel knew anything about this. Daniel said he'll put up the $500,000. Let's go. I want to see Doug Polk put up the $500,000 and put his money where his mouth is. Same with Sean Deeb. Listen, like I told Sean Deeb, I texted him. And listen, call Daniel all you want, names you want. You guys don't like him. That's fine. There's a lot of people don't like Daniel. But when it comes to poker, you can't use the word cheating without any kind of evidence or anything. Why aren't they blaming the WSOP? It's like, and even the WSP, listen, they make mistakes. Nobody's perfect. And it's just stupid. It's just, the whole thing is stupid. But one thing I will do is I will stick up for Daniel in this situation till the day I die. Now, there's a lot of things I'll never stick up for Daniel for, especially when it comes to politics. We're pretty opposite. But, hey, it's just wrong. And it's just the way it is. That's all. It's just wrong.
Thanks so much for the response and taking my call.
You got it,
Been a big fan of both you guys for the last probably like 15, 16 years now.
Yeah. That's good. And you know what? We get along pretty good now. We're working on a relationship. Hopefully one day we'll be as close as we used to be. But, it's all good. But one thing I will guarantee you is I will put whatever I have to my name and my integrity and everything of my word. There's no way that Daniel would ever cheat anybody out of anything. That's all. So there's my
thank you so much, Mike.
You got it, buddy.
Keep going. This podcast is great. I'll be a regular listener for sure.
I appreciate it, and take care.
Keep up the good work.
You got it.
Thanks.
Later. Bye.
The Mouthpiece.
Thank you all for listening to episode 26 of The Mouthpiece. Next week, I'm going to put out a poll of the 3 people that want to come on The Mouthpiece next week. You guys tell me who you want to hear from. Check me out on Twitter, Instagram. I just opened an Instagram account. YouTube.com/MikeTheMouth. And you can check out the videos from the trip I was just on. We'll be up soon. Hope you enjoyed our podcast this week. Everybody, peace out. Take care. Have a great weekend.